welcome back to the show. Today we're graphing two-step inequalities. We've done this already, but let's review a little bit because we're going to get into some multi-step inequalities over the next couple of days. Here's the deal, inequalities. You don't just have a solution like x equals 5, you're going to get like x equals less than 5, which could include 4, -1, -56.21689, or 3, 1, you know what I mean. It includes every number that is less than 4. I forget what I said in that example. So what you do is you graph your solutions on a number line with a dot and shading. So with dots, if you have the inequality less than or greater than, it's going to be an open dot. Kind of like if you took the less than and greater than symbols and put them together, it looks like an open dot if you kind of round it out. If you have the or equal to's, that's going to be a solid dot. And the way I remember it is if they use the extra ink to put the or equal to, you got to use the extra ink to fill in your circle. Now what it really means is that number considered part of the solution? So an open dot, if you had like x is less than 4, 4 is not included in that solution because 4 is not less than 4. But if you said 4 is less than 4, it gets a solid dot because that is part of the solution. Because you could say 4 is less than or equal to 4. Now as far as which direction you shade, now I like to sing a little song. If the letter is first, then follow the arrow. If the letter is second, then don't. And that's a very easy song to remember. But as long as the variable is listed first, if it's less than or less than or equal to, you shade to the left. If it's greater than or greater than or equal to, you shade to the right. Now, again, this is only when in your final answer, the variable is listed first, like x is greater than 11. You wouldn't shade to the right. It just goes backwards if your variable is listed second. So you can either rewrite the inequality or you can just remember it's the opposite. That last thing in red there, if you multiply or divide both sides by a negative, you have to reverse the inequality sign. So solve each inequality and then graph the solution. Y divided by -6 plus 7 is less than 9. First, I see plus 7. Automatically, I'm thinking, let's subtract 7 to cancel that out. If you do it on one side, you got to do it on the other side. So we have y divided by -6 is less than 9 minus 7 is 2. Now, how do we get rid of divided by -6? We multiply by -6. But like it said, triple start up there. If you multiply or divide both sides by a negative, you have to reverse the inequality sign. So now it's going to flip to greater than, and 2 times -6 is -12. This is our solution, but we're going to show that on a number line. You can make your number line as detailed as you want, but this number is the only number of importance to me on my number line. Now, if you think earlier, it said if it's just less than or it's just greater than, it's an open dot. So this would be an open dot on -12 because you can't say that -12 is greater than -12. And if the letter is first, you follow the arrow. The arrow is pointing to the right, so we're going to shade to the right. Again, if you kind of just think about what this means, if this was a real number line, over here, smaller than -12, you'd have -13. Over here, you'd have -11, -10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3. So all the numbers greater than -12 on the number line are the numbers to the right of -12. Everything to the left would be less than that number. So 2v minus 4 is greater than or equal to 8. Minus 4. Okay, let's add 4 to both sides. 2v greater than or equal to 8 plus 4 is 12. How are we going to get rid of that 2? We're going to divide by 2 on both sides. Did we divide both sides by a negative? No. So we're not going to flip the sign. We're going to keep it. 12 divided by 2 is 6. So we'll get our number line ready. 6. Open or closed dot. It's got the or equal to. So that gets a closed dot because 6 is technically included in that solution. You could say 6 is greater than or equal to 6. It works. The letter's first, so I follow the arrow. It's pointing to the right, so we shade to the right. And all the numbers greater than 6 are to the right of 6 on the number line. We're going to do 4 more. And then on the other side of these notes, I have some blank ones for you to try out as well. We're not going to go over all of those. So 4b minus 1 is less than 7. We're going to add the 1. 4b is less than 8. Well, we got to get rid of that 4 by dividing it out. And it's positive, so we don't need to reverse any signs. B is less than 2. Here's 2. It's going to have an open dot because it's just less than. And if the letter is first, then follow the arrow. It's pointing left, so we shade left. That represents everything less than 2. 8 minus 9c is greater than or equal to negative 28. Now to get rid of that 8, it's tough because some people see the minus and they're like, let's add some stuff. But 8 plus 8 is 16. We're trying to get it to 0 over there. So we're going to subtract 8. The minus actually belongs with the 9c, not with the 8. These cancel. We have negative 9c is greater than or equal to negative 36. And then we have to divide by that negative 9. We have to remember, if we're dividing both sides by negative, we flip the inequality. So now it's going to be less than or equal to. Negative 36 divided by negative 9 is 4. Let's get our number line. 4. It's going to have a closed dot. And if our letter is first, which it is, then we'll follow the arrow. It's pointing left, we'll shade left. Now, you can choose anything that's shaded here, plug it into the original formula for C, and for C it'll work out. Like something less than 4 would be 0. 9 times 0 is 0. 8 minus 0 is 0. Oh, sorry, it's 8. Ugh. And 8 is greater than or equal to negative 28. Anything shaded works in the original equation when you substitute it back in. So let's try 3. N over negative 2 plus 11 is greater than 12. Now, I already see that we're going to be dividing by negative 2. So we're going to have to multiply by negative 2 and flip the inequality, but we'll get there. So we'll subtract the 11. N over negative 2 is greater than 12 minus 11 is 1. We're going to multiply both sides by that negative 2. Flip the inequality. 1 times negative 2 is negative 2. Open dot. And our letters first, so we'll follow the arrow. All right, we finally have a problem where our letter will not be listed first, where our variable. So first we have to get rid of the 5. We're going to subtract it. So 5 minus 5 is 0, and that would cancel it out. 6 minus 5 is 1. Over here we have negative v over 3. We have to cancel out the divided by 3 by multiplying. We're also going to cancel out the negative sign by multiplying by negative 3, because a negative times a negative is positive. Negative 3 times 1 is negative 3. We have to reverse the inequality sign. And over here, everything else canceled out except for the v. So let's get our number line. Negative 3. Now close dot, no problem there. But the song says, if the letter is first, then follow the arrow. If the letter is second, then don't. Our letter is second. I see our arrow points to the left, so we have to go the opposite way. We're going to shade to the right. Or if you feel more comfortable, you can reverse the way it's written. Negative 3 is less than or equal to v can also be written as v is greater than or equal to negative 3. These are the exact same inequality. So if it helps, rewrite it, and then you can do if the letter is first, then follow the arrow. If the letter is second, then whoop, letter is third. I don't know. You know.